the... What is it? Are you whistling just for fun? God! 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 Quick!
What'll happen now?
Our last supper, with only one but very filling course, awaits us.
Crazel, please. For once, just once, tell me what's actually going on.
And rob myself of enjoying your blissful ignorance? Not a chance. Tell me yourself, what do you think is going to happen?
Like always. You'll send me off somewhere to look for something, and you'll have a fancy speech to go with it.
He knows you now as well as we do, Miller.
I do tend to do that, true enough. But no, today things will be different. Bonnie will start today. At least I'll finally see if she understood my teachings. Bonnie?
First of all, I'd like to thank you on behalf of the whole gang for all the work you've done. We could never have finished the job without you. We found 2 new partners, you and Monarch here. It's good to have someone to rely on. So, it's time we started being honest with you, so you can finally learn the whole truth.
Not yet. Let's pull up that uppity bastard's leg a bit longer. That's the fun part!
No, Z-Neck. First of all, I rather like them legs of his. And secondly, I think we've put him through enough suffering. This whole time, you've been collecting ingredients and clues for us. But, so you wouldn't go nosing around, we always told you it was for something different than it actually was.
The miller here calls it tackets.
Tactics, you idiot. And everything worked out according to plan. So today we're finally close to our great success. With the help of Hermes Trismegistos and his successors, we'll finally complete the dream of all alchemists. Our magnum opus.
Exactly, Bonnie.
Magnum opus. A great work of alchemy. You're trying to make the Philosopher's Stone.
I see you've learned something after all. But no, the Philosopher's Stone isn't our goal.
Let's see then, Henry. What is it you think we're making here?
Some kind of weapon?
Well, Henry's not too far from the truth after all, don't you think? Actually, he's pretty spot on. Although weapons were our last order of business. Let's start at the beginning. My father was a miller as well, but I was never much interested in the trade. Even as a young boy, I loved running around Lower Samine and investigating everything living and dead. And I had a lot of questions about everything. Then my mother, God rest her soul, decided it'd be best for me to go to study in Prague. As soon as I grew up and gained a bit of sense, I packed my bags and left.
You must have had a real good mother for her to support you like that.
I'd say she didn't have much of a choice. My father was always busy, so she was the one who had to listen to all my questions. I met a lot of remarkable people at the university, and my thirst for knowledge kept growing. But in the end, it only took a year of all that pretentious, scholarly blathering and hypocritical nonsense for me to realize I wouldn't learn anything proper there. Most of the students and masters are just a bunch of dogmatic fools. They have their own truth, and those who want to know more or ask the wrong questions fall into disfavor, as was my case.
You left your studies?
And I'm glad I did. The most important science is not subject to any religious dogma. And, of course, it's not taught at any university.
You mean alchemy?
Exactly. The art of combination and dissolution. The key to understanding the very nature of the world. There's only one queen of science. Alchemy. I returned to the mill in Lower Samine and started a new life.
So you became a miller?
In the end, I did. As you can see, from then on, alchemy became my true passion. I brought a few important books from Prague. I started with the most difficult thing. I tried to create gold.
That was pretty daring of you.
As you might expect, it didn't work. But after a few tries, I managed to create something entirely different. Once I tried mixing sulfur, charcoal, and saltpeter. I had a candle burning next to me. A gust of wind scattered the mixture, and all of a sudden, bang! I almost shit myself, I tell you. But then I realized I'd unwittingly created a miracle. Explosive black powder.
So I was right. You're making weapons.
No, it's about much more than that. We're all in on it now.
I couldn't continue my experiments on my own, but Bonnie and Zinnig did a few little jobs for me.
So he initiated us.
But we just still didn't know how to do it right and not blow ourselves up in the process.
And we used up a huge amount of saltpeter and sulfur.
By the way, the manuscript from that Hermes Trismegistos was our shopping list and price list for material from Kuttenberg.
Only we didn't know correct proportions. I looked up a few of my former fellow students and brought it up with them. And we found out that before us, some monk had already made the discovery.
Some fella called Black Bertold. And that he even started writing a book called
Feuerwerkbuch.
We couldn't believe our luck when we found out there's a copy of it right here at Trotsky.
And you know the rest.
It's a discovery that will change history. In the right hands, it can make miracles happen. All it takes is a spark, and a storm of fire will sweep away the old world order. It will wipe out stupidity and ignorance, once and for all.
And what will happen now?
As I said, we're about to have our last supper on our journey to satisfy our hunger for knowledge. A feast of smoke and fire. Black Bertold never finished his book, because he never had enough ingredients for his last great experiment. But now, thanks to you, we do. We can finally finish Bertold's work and finish his book. We'll see with our own eyes what a barrel of black powder can do. I hope you're as excited as I am.
Before we get started, there's something I want to know. This book, Feuerwerkbuch, what's written in it?
Everything you'd want to know about black powder. How to mix it in the proper ratio. How to store it. How to light it properly. And especially how to use it in warfare. Because that's the most important part, after all.
Do you really need that much saltpeter?
We do. Saltpeter makes up almost 3/4 of the mixture. Not even all the cows in the region could produce enough for us once we really get started with manufacturing.
What is it you're going to do with this powder?
During wartime, like it is now, a flammable and explosive mixture like this has more uses than you can imagine. If we had a few big barrels of the stuff, we could demolish Trotsky if we wanted to. And maybe we will.
All of us here are truly passionate about the idea of a new world. And now it's within our grasp.
What is it you studied at the university?
I was supposed to become a preacher.
That fits you. Maybe you'd even be a good preacher.
Maybe I would. Maybe I wouldn't.
God has a path prepared for each of us. And each of us here decided not to follow it.
I was supposed to be a dyer, but I was too lazy to work 6 days a week and soak my hands in lye.
I was supposed to become a nun, but I didn't want to give up the booze and fellas.
And I've already told you everything. The world is what you make it.
How did a scholar and an alchemist become a thief?
Prague is a big city, and a poor student has no chance of getting a decent place to sleep or even something to eat. Learning to shop with 5 fingers was the first requirement for survival. We're all masters of our own destiny.
I've heard enough. Now I want to see that with my own eyes.
Let's do it then. Bonnie, is everything ready?
Indeed, it is. We can get started. Long live the beautiful new world.
Looks like it ain't working.
I'd say it works just fine.
This will change history.
What? I can't hear a thing. But I'd say it works just fine.
Go back to spraying cider off the walls of a sty instead of mixing.
Black powder? Well, now.
You didn't expect that, eh?
We're in the middle of the forest next to a mill. Who'd have expected exploding trees?
Aye, well, never judge a firework book by its cover.
Did Crazel tell you that joke?
Corva, how do you know that? Anyways, I hope the miller gives us a bit of extra coin now things has finally worked out.
In the worst case, you can go back to licking the walls of pigsties.
But next time you'll be coming with me. Farewell.
Black powder? I'd never have expected that from Crazel.
Imagine, that monarch of ours is half deaf.
That dog of yours? What does that have to do with the gunpowder magazine?
Just that I was wondering that the explosions didn't bother him at all. At least he won't suffer here. And now I'm not surprised he was so unhappy with that bastard Vasarik. Hey, how did you know what we were actually doing?
I didn't exactly.
But you said weapons. How did you find out? Did we let it slip somehow?
It was clear to me the moment I saw that book. I figured the illustrations were about either painting the walls with something to make them invisible, or demolishing them with some kind of flames.
Whew! That means it's all on Crazel, and I played my role properly. Anyway, you did a damn fine job. You deserve a nickname from me, like I promised. We're going to call you Sourdough.
Sourdough?
Well, when you came here, you were kind of unrefined, grey, nothing much. But as you gained experience, you rose and rose until you've risen into a companion we need not be ashamed of. Take care then, Sourdough, and come back and visit sometime. God be with you.
God! Quick! You really led me on about the gunpowder magazine, didn't you? A golem made of dough, souls inside saltpeter, the secrets of light and shadow. That was all just empty talk, wasn't it?
Not exactly. It's all based on the real philosophy of the Jewish Kabbalah. I studied the writings of Bonaventura and Dietrich von Freiberg, but it was never in my interest to put their theories into practice. But they worked brilliantly as a cover-up, don't you think?
I really thought you'd have a golem made from dough walking around the mill, or that I could become invisible.
Ah, but black powder is no less a miraculous creation.
So for the last time, Crazel, what now?
I'll do what I promised, and what will most likely be my fate. I'm going to gather together all the knowledge I've acquired and finish Black Berthold's book. I'll finish his opus.
Uh-huh. And what about me?
That's up to you, Henry. You're a free man. Lord Samin has no hold over you, and never did. You know, the inevitability of God's plan takes no interest in people like you and me. We'll always be little people, beneath it all.
That sounds somehow hopeful in a peculiar way, I'd say. Now I'm even happier about the great thing we've accomplished here.
The ideal conclusion, I'd say. Maybe it's time to carry sacks at a different mill. But if you're still interested in learning a bit more, drawing from the well of alchemical knowledge...
I know where to find you.
Indeed.
Excuse me.
So how about that book of yours, Crazel?
Wouldn't you like to know?
All secretive again, are we? I thought we got past that.
Sorry, Henry. Force of habit. My great work is complete. I picked up where Black Bertolt left off and brought his conclusions to a close. I believe that my work will lay the foundations of a new world where knowledge will forever reign over darkness.
Sounds interesting. Could I at least get a peek?
Sorry, Henry, but that won't happen. If anyone heard about the book, the church would be after me, like a dog after a rabbit. I hid the original so well even you wouldn't be able to find it. Believe me, I made an effort.
You know I'd never tell anyone about it.
And what if you were tortured, huh? No. You can never be too sure. I even made an exact copy, just to be safe. That was even more work than we had with the original.
So maybe you could lend me this copy?
It's no longer here. I paid a messenger to take it to Kuttenberg, to someone I owe a lot to.
What's new around here?
Nothing much, lad. At least I haven't heard about anything.
Crazel, where's the copy?
In the good hands of a messenger who'll hand it over to Hermes Trismegistos. You're not going to catch that fellow. He set off straight for Kuttenberg.
Who's Hermes Trismegistos?
That I will not tell you.
Well, I hope your courier arrived safely and didn't lose such a rarity to a common thief on the way. We've been through a lot together. Will you finally tell me more about yourself?
Have you not grown tired of all this constant questioning? I've told you plenty already. And if I left something out, it was for a good reason.
Well, I know about the university, the alchemy, your desire to change the world, but I don't know anything about you as a person.
That's a question I'd like to know the answer to myself. To find yourself, and who you really are. Isn't that the only true meaning of life?
Greetings. Do you need something?
I'm here for some horse tack. I hear you have something for me.
Well, fuck me blind. You got out of jail yesterday and today you've got a horse. Fuck, I wouldn't mind having your kind of luck. But you're fucking things up for me and making a mess. And I don't want to get a whipping on your account. I've got the tack ready, but I've been ordered to show you our herring first. You can take him, they said. So kindly take a look at him in the stable here and tell me if you want him or not. Be with you, good sir.
Come here. Mutt! I took a look at herring.
And?
A nice animal, but I'll keep my own.
Never mind looking a gift horse in the mouth, you flat out refuse to accept one. You're lost though, pal. Actually, now we've got to know each other, I want to let you in on this little scheme. We could both get something out of it. But you'd have to keep it to yourself. What do you say? Can you keep your mouth shut when coin's at stake?
I can keep my mouth shut. You can count on it. What's this about coin, then?
Look, it's easy as pie. You keep your horse, which you wanted to do anyway, but I'll say you took Herring, and then I'll sell him to someone. You'll do all right out of it. I'll pay you up front.
Well, I might be interested, but I deserve a bigger cut. I'm not new to all this, so I'm well aware that the first offer to an accomplice is deliberately low, just in case he accepts. So forget about that and make it worth my while, because you'll get a tidy sum for a horse like that.
I didn't expect you to be so savvy. But you're not wrong. I'll give you double my first offer. I reckon that's fair.
Me too.
Right, now we can get back to the reason you're here. You know how to ride and control a horse?
Ah, don't worry. I'm right at home with horses. I learned to ride with cumans on my tail, and arrows whistling past my head. A tough school it was.
Well, I'll be damned. I never heard such a thing before. But even an experienced horseman like you needs equipment, as you well know. You can tack him up yourself, right?
Sure. Thanks.
Be with you, good sir.
You silly doggy.
I'm ready. We can go.
We can't. We wouldn't make it to Nabokov and back by sunset. We'll meet at the second gate tomorrow at sunrise.
I'm ready.
We can't. We'll meet at the second gate tomorrow at sunrise. Well, shall we set off for Nabokov? I don't think I could tolerate another day under one roof with that idiot Schomburg.
Ah, fuck him. We're here on account of von Bergov. I have a feeling he won't be giving him a pat on the back either for the way he treated us.
I suppose you're right. But I won't be fucking humiliated. A jump-top tosser like that isn't going to get high-handed with the Lord of Perkstein.
I agree. Although, the Lord of Perkstein can also act pretty haughty at times.
Look, I know I behaved like an idiot, but...
Nah, don't worry about it. It's water under the bridge.
I'm in your debt. Talking of debts, there's one more we need to settle. Both of us. That herbwoman, Bozhena, really helped us after that ambush. If it hadn't been for her, we wouldn't have survived.
Aye. You're right.
I gave her my word. And the word of a noble must be kept, as we both know.
Don't worry about it. I took care of it on behalf of both of us.
You did? My word, Henry. You are a true bellator. Only half by birth, but your heart is filled with blue blood.
Thanks, Hans.
How is she getting on, actually? I hope she hasn't had any trouble on account of us.
Not on account of us, no. But... well, it's a complicated story. And not a pleasant one.
Jesus. I'm sorry to hear that. But right now, I'm not in the mood for sad stories. You can tell me another time, but now, Nabokov awaits us. It's high time we set out so we can get back before nightfall. Carpe diem.
I'm ready.
Let's mount up then.
What are you doing, you whistler?
It's nice to be out under the open sky. I was feeling really cramped in those gloomy corridors up there. But I can't deny this is a real fucking castle. I've never seen anything like it before. Perkstein is just a little fortress in comparison. Von Berghoff certainly knows how to make an impression.
That's true. Von Berghoff must be loaded.
I expect the office of the Royal Chamberlain is a nice earner. Or maybe he shits gold ingots. Fuck. This place makes me feel queasy. Memento mori. I could have croaked here and gone off to join my old man in eternity. God rest his soul. And he'd ask me, "So, son, what great deeds have you achieved in life?" And I'd have to tell him, "Well, Pa, I fucked everything up royally, and then they hanged me for poaching." Christ on a stick. I can't have that. When I go to the next life, I need to have something better to tell. A whole lot better.
Well, you'll be telling him how you put a stop to the war in the land, saved King Wenceslas, and brought peace to the people.
That doesn't sound too shabby. Only, how to actually achieve it. Damn it. I need to get my mind on other things, and get the feeling I'm living. Let's really spur these horses on, eh? What'd you say?
How could I refuse you anything?
There's a junction beyond Troskowitz with a roadside chapel. Whoever reaches it first, wins. So, get ready, forward!
Quick!
Give it all you've got!
Quick!
Race with the wind!
Quick!
Go! Show what you're made of!
Go! Whoa!
Christ, yeah! Oh, I needed that. My head feels a lot clearer now.
I'm glad to hear it.
Thanks for riding with me, old pal. I'll even forgive you for having the audacity to beat me, blacksmith's boy. And I'll even reward you for your horsemanship. After all, the lords of Perkstein don't neglect their loyal subjects.
Thanks. A generous master is a good master. That's a piece of blacksmith's wisdom.
And a satisfied escort is a good escort. That's a noble's wisdom.
I can't disagree. So, what now, Hans?
Like I say, I can see everything clearer now. And the thing that's clearest to me is I won't be trifled with anymore. I'm the Lord of fucking Perkstein. Let everyone know who they have the honor of addressing.
I'm with you on that, noble sir.
Splendid. So, forward to Nabokov. The sooner we get that out of the way, the sooner we can finally start dealing with more important matters. Audentes fortuna juvat! We turn right here.
I was thinking about our mission. What do you think of our prospects with von Berghoff?
Well, we haven't got off to the best start, have we? But I'll do everything in my power to ensure we succeed. Hanush, Radzig and Jobst are depending on us. If they thought it was a lost cause, they wouldn't have sent me. They'd have sent, you know, someone less important. That's diplomacy in a nutshell. If you're serious about something, you send someone important to add gravity and show respect.
You didn't answer my question.
I did. You just didn't realize. All right, I'll explain. According to what Hanush told me before we set out, von Berghoff is no fool. Quite the opposite. Persuading him won't be easy. We have to show him he has more to gain than to lose with us.
This shouldn't be about trade-offs. Sigismund is a usurper who's harming our land. Wenceslas is the true king, and siding with him is a matter of honor.
I agree, Henry. But as you can see, half the Bohemians' nobles don't. More than half, actually. They either see Sigismund as an opportunity, or they're simply fearful and will side with the one who has the upper hand. They'll be holed up on their estates, waiting for the storm to blow over without them having to lift a finger. We have to show them we have the upper hand. It doesn't matter if they side with us out of fear or honor. They just have to side with us. And von Berghoff is just the man we need. As soon as we get his support, the majority will follow. Because some nobles will simply do whatever von Berghoff does. They will think he's a genius.
I'm glad you feel better.
So am I, my friend. So am I. We still have lots to do before we go back to Rattay. And I was afraid, you know, that I'd fuck it up. And I almost did. But I'm not afraid anymore. Now I see it as an opportunity and a challenge. Any old fool can manage simple tasks. But hard ones, they require a man like Sir Hans Capon of Leipa and Perkstein.
And Henry of Skalitz.
Aye. He faces the hardest tasks. Nabokov is not far now. The fortress stands on a rocky outcrop. We'll have to go round. So we should be careful. Our mission will be taking us around a pond, and we know what happened last time. So get ready. As soon as we cross the stream, we'll give the horses a gallop again. Turn left here! Nice fortress! I like the way it's concealed. Nicely situated on an outcrop, with a mighty tower and only one approach road. Easy to defend with a view of the whole valley and its approaches. A well-chosen site.
Are you an expert on fortress construction?
You could say that. It's part of a nobleman's and a warrior's upbringing. Hanush forced me to listen to those teachings from Bernard and others, and I'm glad he did. When I think about it, unquestionably learning feeds a man's soul, but right now my belly needs feeding. So I hope Sir Yadomira is well stocked. Von Berghoff's morning feast set a high bar, after all.
Hearing you spout wisdom is entertaining. But not enough to make me forget my ass is sore. It's a good thing we're almost there.
Sacre, Henry, a short ride like this and you've had enough? I was just thinking about heading off to see the world once we've sent Sigismund packing and restored order in the land. I'd like to visit the Holy Land, for instance, and kneel before the Holy Sepulchre. I'd bring back earth from Golgotha for the family tomb, to improve Father's prospects in the hereafter. Whew. So you'd better toughen up that arse of yours, so you can make it to Constantinople at least without whining. see. Fuck! What a lot of horses! They must have cost a fortune. Perhaps he married off his daughter well. Or von Bergov is paying the Bach a tidy annuity, but kept it quiet from us.
So, we're here. What now, Sir Hans?
Now, I expect someone will come to greet us. And hopefully not like they did in Trotsky.
Hey, so Yaromir don't receive visitors. You'll have to leave.
I beg your pardon. See to it that he receives me immediately.
Can't be done. Sorry about that.
I am Sir Hans Capon of Lipa, and I am here with a message from Lord von Bergov. So get to it. And if you keep me waiting here much longer, you'll be sorry.
Please be patient for a while, sir.
My word. You got a sharp tongue sometimes. But what if he won't receive us?
He will. Just wait and see.
Come along. Sir Yaromir will be here any moment.
See?
The Lord Jesus Christ be praised.
Forever and ever.
Please excuse our precautions, gentlemen. These are evil times. Well then, Yaromir of Nabokov at your service. And whom do I have the honor of welcoming to my humble seat?
Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein. I am honored, Sir Yaromir. Sir Otto von Bergov asked me to convey to you his cordial greetings, and to parley with you in the matter of the security of this domain.
Certainly, certainly. These are troubled times indeed. Please accept my hospitality, sir. You're surely thirsty after your journey, and you'll have greater comfort in the tower.
An excellent idea. If I may ask that our horses may not be neglected either.
Pelzel, you heard his lordship.
But I've already got 15 animals to deal with. Why doesn't Hurtle do it?
Hurtle has other duties. Stop griping and get to it.
15 horses! My word, sir. You must be doing all right for yourself.
Not entirely. But fortune smiled on me for once at least.
On me too, one could say. I suppose she's doing the rounds in these parts. So, tell me, sir, how did you achieve what you have?
Well, it's a long, complicated story. But I'm guessing von Berkhoff didn't send you here to find out how well off I am. Or did he?
No, he didn't. I apologize, Sir Yaromir. So, let's proceed to the real reason he sent us. Henry, be prepared. I won't keep Sir Yaromir very long.
Certainly.
Michael, you take Henry here under your wing and make sure he's well taken care of.
Certainly. Henry, eh? Michael's my name, and I welcome you to our little place. It's not the fanciest fortress ever, but you know, I like it here. It serves us well. How was your journey? All good?
Aye. Lovely country. A feast for the eyes.
Well, that's nice to hear, especially from someone from far-off parts. But I must say, my throat is dry. And maybe yours too, eh? Come along with me. We'll soon fix that. I'll make you feel at home and we can have a chat. As I said, the fortress may be small, but the work never stops. Right now, we're repairing the fortifications down there, so don't get under the lad's feet. But you can drop in on Pelzel and check how he's looking after your horses. We're rolling some dice, eh? We've got none of guesswork, so don't all be shy. Invite him to play if he finds himself at a loose end. At least he'll show you how your betters play.
Right you are, Michael. You can rely on me.
And you, Ertel, have you got shit for brains? You've got a guess, for fuck's sake.
I'm sorry, Michael. I didn't know.
Shut your gob and attend to your duties.
Right, I'm going.
So you've heard then. I hope you won't disappoint Zwerk and pass some time with him.
I'd love to have a game.
Glad to hear it. You're a good lad. I can tell just by looking at you. Zwerk has some polished badges. I'm sure he'd love to take a look at yours. You'll find him over there at the table. He's there pretty much all day. I'll keep telling him. Your arse will wear a hole down there one day, and you'll fall down in it. Dice and all.
Are you being
But now to the
cautious?
important business. There's a bite to eat on the table and something to wash it down with, so help yourself. And I'll be happy to chew the fat. I'm sure you've got loads of stories. I heard Lord von Berghoff himself sent you. So, what has he sent you with?
That's for their lordships to know. Not me.
Aye. No one tells us commoners anything. Typical lords. But you must have heard something. You know how it goes. You've got ears, ain't you?
Well, if you ask me, von Berghoff wants to strike at the bandits. So he's putting an army together.
Now you're talking. It's about time. They've been causing trouble around these parts as well. How many men does Lord von Berghoff have?
He's got some, but definitely less than he'd like to. That's why we're here.
Well, hopefully enough. I bet my left nut Lord Yaromir will send me. Tell me one thing, though, because I can't wrap my head around it. Why didn't von Berghoff send one of his own instead of some Lord of Pirkstein and his escort?
Well, I suppose he wanted to show respect to Lord Yaromir. So he didn't send just anyone.
Ah, the way of the nobles. Not something I know much about, but you do, it seems. So your master, Lord Capon of Pirkstein, is somehow significant.
One of the most significant in the Kingdom of Bohemia.
Well, you're lucky you're with him. Look who I'm serving. And you're his, what, page, servant?
His escort. I give advice when he asks for it. But mostly I take care of his security.
Fair enough. I get it. I used to travel with Lord Yaromir, but he barely travels these days, so I don't get out much.
Lord Capon is always getting up to something.
Well, I envy you a bit. But hey, we've had a nice chat. And since you're here, what would you say to a bit of a friendly duel? You've got time to kill, and me too. Let's do something to shorten it. We can do something dignified. We'll clash arms for the glory of our masters. You for yours, me for mine.
I accept your offer. I'd fight for Lord Capon any time and any place.
Then you're the right man in the right place. Get your kit ready, and we can get stuck in.
I don't want to pry, Michael, but Sir Yaromir said he had some luck with horses. That sounds interesting.
Nothing interesting about it. His lordship's affairs are a long story, and a dull one at that.
Well, if there's one thing Lord Capon taught me, it's that noblemen's affairs are never dull.
If you insist, well, you're in for a disappointment. There's nothing interesting about it. Sir Yaromir had these relatives, and they died, God rest their souls, and his lordship inherited some land, but they couldn't give it to him or something, so they gave him horses instead, to make up the amount owed. See? Complicated and dull, but all above board.
You were right. That's nobleman's business for you.
Just so.
Let's do it, Michael.
You don't have to ask twice. We've got some blunt old weapons for practice here, so we'll use them. We don't want to hack each other to pieces, do we?
That's sensible.
We'll do it in a little courtyard behind the gate. Tell me what weapon you want, and we'll get cracking.
Give me a longsword.
You must fancy yourself a master swordsman. I can't wait to see what you can do with it. Give me a moment. I'll put my gear on. Well then. Ready?
Let's go!
Fight for us, Michael.
Bad luck.
Careful with that.
Right. Aye, that youngster turned Clara's head.
Fight for us,
Glory to the House of Nebach!
real nice.
No chance! Back off!
Fight for us, Michael!
A good fight. An honourable.
Yeah, I'd say. I haven't had such a good stretch in a long time.
Lord Capon's honour has been defended.
That it has. Didn't expect you to take me down like that. All honour to you, Henry. Here you go. Something to remember Nabokov by on your journeys with Sir Capon. You won fair and square. If you're feeling a bit sore, go and see Clara. She'll be in that house beneath the smithy beyond the gate, I reckon. She'll be happy if you show her where it hurts. I might have said this already, but if you've got nothing on your plate, you can have a game of dice's work. Or try Pelzel in the stables. I'm sure he'd love to show you how we hold races to pass the time. And if you want to train some other battle skills, you can practice archery with Mark. I reckon you'll find him on the gate.
Greetings.
Well, it's nice to meet someone from the trade. I'm also a blacksmith.
Is that so? Good lord, I wouldn't have expected that. You must have had a slice of luck to be hanging out with nobles. Me and my brother wanted to get out of the smithing trade, but something always brought us back. I'm Steer. Pleased to meet you, sir.
Henry. How's trade? The plates here. Is that your work?
Oh, I wish. If I could make stuff like that, me and my brother wouldn't be stuck here. We just keep it in good nick. Mend it when the lads get it beat up, which they do all the time.
Tell me about it. I've straightened bent nails and knives and saws till I couldn't see straight. Folks don't take care of things, and then they're surprised.
You took the words out of my mouth. Then it's work from dawn to dusk, day in, day out. And if you saw the work waiting for me down below and in the tower, no end to it.
Hold on. I'll go down there and help you out. The work will go faster with an extra pair of hands.
No, don't go anywhere. What I mean is, thanks for the offer. But we can't have a guest working here, can we? And besides, you get in the way down there. They're working on the fortifications. Better go and play dice with Twerk or something. Make the most of your free time till your lord gets back.
All right. Whatever you say. I just wanted to help.
Oh, I know you did. But I can manage by myself. Really. Let's leave it at that.
You said you have a brother.
Aye, they call him Bull. The poor bloke tries hard enough, but he ain't got the knack. So he just helps out where he can. Or he does any work that's needed. He's working below on the fortification repairs right now. He'd be better off learning a different trade. But times is hard. This way, at least we're together. That's the main thing. Have you got anyone next to you on life's journey?
I have my lord, and that's all I need.
I understand. I wouldn't mind being a noble's retainer myself. What's he like, actually?
Brave and just. Everything a knight should be. Every day I learn something new in his service.
He's got you well trained.
And what's your lord like?
My lord doesn't like it when folks talk about him behind his back. Better leave it at that. I reckon it's time I got back to work. Take care, sir. Let me be, sir. I don't have any...
Hey, sir, got a moment? I'm going into the woods to collect dead wood, if you know what I mean.
Aye. Dead wood for kindling. You can never have enough of that. The nights can be cold, can't they? Very wise. Lovely horses you have here.
Aye, right beauties, ain't they?
There must be more of them than men in the fortress. That many horses must have cost a fortune.
That's right. Sir Yaramir had a stroke of luck.
What stroke of luck was that?
Look, this is Noble's business. I shouldn't go flapping my lips about it.
So there is something dodgy about it, eh?
Bollocks! It's all above board, especially our horses. Why not do something for your own lord's honour instead of insulting my lord's honour? We sometimes have this little race. You've got a horse, so you can show us your riding skills, eh?
Don't try that on with me. I'm the retainer of Lord Capon of Perkstein. So bear that in mind and start talking.
Beg pardon, sir.
The horses. Where did Lord Nebat get them?
All right, if you insist. Well, lucky for him, but not so lucky for others. We came across a bunch of them bandits who prey on folk here. We tore into them and hacked them to pieces. A couple of our lads didn't make it. God rest their souls. But we kicked their asses, and we took their horses. They had loads of them. Who knows where they got them, but that's by the by now.
Where did you fight with them?
Not far from the stream that feeds into Nabarkov Pond. They were just watering their horses when we charged them.
But Michael said it was between Lower Semine and Rock Tower Pond.
Really? I suppose Michael's right. It's easy to lose your bearings here. Nothing but cliffs and ponds. It makes your head spin.
But you're local. You must know these parts like the back of your hand.
I was shit-faced, all right? Let's leave it at that.
I see. Take good care of those horses, then.
I will. And you, sir. Maybe I mentioned it before, but if you're at a loose end, the horses need to stretch their legs a bit. You could help us out. Just a little race around the area. It would do the horses good. And you, too. And if you managed to beat our lad, you wouldn't go away empty-handed.
I'll race.
Thy will be done. The race is from here to Nabarkov Mill. That's down the path there and to the right after the little bridge. At the mill, there's this granary in front of the dike, and behind that, a willow tree. You go between the granary and the willow, and then back to the fortress. First one back here wins. You'll be taking on Hurtle. He's our best horseman, so you'll have your work cut out. None of us can beat him, but if you manage to, fuck it. I'll give you one of our finest saddles, whatever the cost.
That's fair. Let's do it.
Great. I'll call Hurtle and you can get cracking.
Hell's elite. Breath stinks. Go. Go! Quick! Ja! Go! Quick! Ja! Ka! Hup! 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 Quick! Go! Yeah! Go! Quick! Go!
You really are some horseman. You'll get what you deserve.
You're right. Great race. Is Hurtle really your best horseman?
He certainly is. But you're a different class altogether, I see. You beat Hurtle, so, like I promised, the saddle is yours.
The pleasure is all mine.
If you're so delighted, race again.
There ain't nothing to see here, sir.
Feed the pigs.
I'm sorry. Hey! You're not allowed here.
If you're hungry, I left something outside on the table. All yours. No doubt you're used to better fare.
Good to see you.
God be with you.
Well, fuck me sideways. You ride like you've got hellhounds on your tail. All credit to you. I wouldn't say no to a rematch. Pelzel will be happy to get everything ready.
Sir Yaramir's looking for you.
Huh? What does he want?
Something to do with horses. He says that's your forte.
Fucking hell. Pelzel's cocked up again, and it's up to me to put it right. As usual.
What? What do you want now? You've already taken everything I have. Sooner or later, Otto von Bergau will find out the truth and have you all hanged, believe you me.
Hold on. You've got me mixed up with someone. It was Lord von Bergov who sent me here.
What? If you're not one of those cutthroats, what are you doing here?
I swear by all that's holy, I came from Trotsky on a mission from Lord von Bergov.
Thank God. Fortune smiles on me. I'm Yarmir Nebok. You gallop back to Trotsky and tell Sir Otto that bandits have seized the fortress and are holding me captive. Tell him to bring an army and put an end to their mischief.
Why should I believe you?
Haven't you noticed what's going on in the fortress? I give you my word as a noble. I swear to you. Waste no time and get back to Trotsky.
When we arrived, their leader pretended to be you and tried to deceive us.
The bastard!
Who is he?
I haven't a clue. I've never seen him before, and he didn't bother to introduce himself. His men call him Captain. But the way he behaves and speaks, I reckon he's high-born. Now, stop wasting time. Go and tell Otto von Bergau.
How did they take the fortress, then?
We don't have time for storytelling, for Christ's sake. If they catch you here, all will be lost. Hurry back to Trotsky.
Well, Lord von Bergov is bound to ask me that, and I don't want to just stand there gaping like a stuffed owl.
Well, all right. It was a stormy night. Somehow they managed to climb the cliff, I suppose. They just suddenly appeared in the fortress, that's all. They wiped out my guards, burst into the tower. They took us by complete surprise. I didn't have many men, and most of them died before they could draw their swords. They took me captive. This is all that's left of us. Now you know. So what are you waiting for? Go to Sir Otto.
I'll tell Lord von Bergov everything. You can depend on me, sir.
God bless you. Now go.
I can't go straight away. I have to wait till my lord's meeting is over. Otherwise, it would be suspicious.
For God's sake, at least get your horses ready then, so you can leave at once. God be with you.
You buffoon! Why did you lie to me? If you weren't here with a noble, I'd take a pizzle to get hide. Find someone else to play your game. Huh? Clear off, you mutt!
At a loose end, sir? Dice will help pass the time.
It better sod off.
Dice will help pass the time.
Well, I never. The great warrior himself has come to visit. I can't remember the last time anyone beat Michael. You didn't hold back.
Well, you didn't make it easy. And that's good. I don't like fighting with wretches who haven't a chance in hell.
It's a shame there aren't more like you. Now, let's have a look. What kind of hosts would we be if I sent you back to your lord in that state?
Yeah, true. The main thing is that my lord is content, and I don't disgrace him.
Well, I've done what I could. Better now?
Aye. Much better. Thanks a lot.
I'm glad. Will you tell me who you are?
Henry. Lord Capon's retainer. We're on a mission from Lord Bombergoff.
Oh, I'm Clara. Nice to meet you, Sir Knight.
I'm not a knight, actually.
Oh, how come? You look like one.
Knights are a separate class. Not every noble with a sword is a knight, you know.
Please, explain it to me then.
Knight is the title of part of the lower nobility, but that doesn't mean that they're genuine dubbed knights. To be dubbed a knight, take the oath and so on, you first have to serve as a page for some time. And then you perform some great feat, like heroism in battle, and only then are you rewarded with knighthood.
My word. I had no idea it was that complicated. I'd love to hear more, but I have to go and get some more herbs. I'm running low. Would you like to come with me? And maybe tell me something about yourself?
I will be only too happy to escort such a comely maid.
Comely? You'll make me blush. Come on then, let's go. If I don't get back soon, the sick will start to treat themselves with schnapps, and that wouldn't do. Shall we go? Our little fortress doesn't impress you much, I suppose. You must be used to real castles. Actually, that's why I'm so pleased you're here. A bit of excitement at last. Tell me more about knights, or better still, about yourself. Where have you been? What have you seen?
All right then. Some time ago, my native region, far from here, was plagued by a gang of bandits. I tracked them, and it wasn't easy, until I found their secret stronghold in an abandoned village. A battle broke out. I fought my way to the loft of a run-down church. There, I found their leader and killed him in a duel.
You really aren't any run-of-the-mill man-at-arms. At least I have nothing to fear when I'm with you. Tell me more, please.
Once, I was on the trail of this scoundrel, but the sly fox hid in the cloisters of Sasau Monastery. So I had to become a novice to track him down.
Good heavens! So you're actually a monk?
No. I entered the monastery under a false name, so I'd say I'm not a real monk.
That's good to know. Thank you for telling me your stories. It's nothing like my life. I just patch up the lads when they come back cut up and bruised, like last time. But I have other talents too. This really is a lovely spot. If it was up to me, I'd just lie down in the grass and take it easy. But I can't.
Why not?
I have to gather herbs to treat the wounded. When the ointments and concoctions run out, they reach for the liquor. And if his lordship found out I was dawdling, he'd have my guts for garters.
Does Sir Yaramir treat you badly?
Not at all. He's a good master, but strict, I can't lie. Still, now you're here, you can help me with those herbs. Then maybe we'll find a moment.
For dawdling? I can.
Maybe I'll tell you some stories in return.
I know quite a bit about herbs, I think. So just tell me what's wrong with your lads, and I'll come up with a remedy.
Really? So tell me how to treat fever, say, or shortness of breath.
In that case, you'll need sage and chamomile, maybe some poppy or marigold, am I right?
Aye, exactly right. I've got enough chamomile. It's the rest I need. Above all, the marigold. Since you know all about it, you'll be back in a jiffy, won't you? It all grows in the glade here, but sometimes it takes a while to find.
I think I'll manage. I've got everything.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot. You've really helped me out.
You promised you'd tell me something.
I will, don't worry. But first I want to show you something. Hurry.
A lot of time's passed. Sir Hans's meeting is most likely... Now tell me what's so important that you couldn't tell me back there in the glade.
I wanted to give you a riddle.
A riddle? Why?
You'll know soon enough. Now listen. I bloom in silence, a petal's grace, a delicate charm in a hidden place, a whispered scent, a subtle ploy. What am I, elusive and coy? Solve this riddle, unlock the joy.
The only petal I see here is called Clara.
The right answer. And now for your reward. I hope they didn't hear us in the fortress. People wouldn't half talk. If you're as good as that on the battlefield, may God have mercy on your enemies.
I'm not so considerate on the battlefield, because as a true knight, I must do everything I can for a damsel in distress.
You'll soon be a begging knight if you carry on like that.
What do you mean?
Well, I can grind the seeds and the like, but not every damsel in distress knows the recipe.
Should we stay a while longer?
No, up you get. I've got enough herbs and the sick are waiting. Pass me my clothes, please.
Sure. I should get dressed too.
Farewell for
I
now,
shouldn't
Henry.
keep Sir Hans
and
waiting
thanks
so long.
for your help. It happens. Just watch where you're going next time.
You're always welcome here, noble.
It's a good thing you've come. Excellent! My favourite retainer and protector just when I need him. The mission is fulfilled. It was a good meeting. In fact, we had a nice long chat. Sir Yaramir is a pleasant fellow, and he promised to send some men to help Lord von Bergov, of course. So we got what we came for. What about you? Did you have fun?
Fucking hell, Hans. You can be glad you're alive.
Is there something wrong?
You bet there is. The whole fortress has been taken over by bandits. They attacked it and took Sir Yaramir prisoner. They're pretending to be his garrison. And you didn't speak to Nebak, but to their chief. Thank Christ they didn't take you prisoner as well.
What?
I found the real Nebak in jail. I swear to God it's all true. We have to disappear as quickly as possible, before they take us captive as well.
Oh, shit! Well, then we better leave right now. You can explain it properly on the way. Oh, this place again. Oh, it makes my blood run cold. But it's good we're back safe. I was somewhat afraid they might send someone after us. Especially after what you said on the way about Sir Yaramir being a prisoner. It was clever of you to sniff out the deception, Henry. I'll take my hat off to you. Lord von Bergov must be informed.
Of course. Let's see him at once.
Welcome back, Sir Hans. Henry?
Greetings, sir.
I'm glad you got back safe and sound. Now let's get down to business. Lord Capon, what news do you bring from Sir Jaromir? How many of his men can I count on?
None, my lord. The situation is worse than you can imagine. Nebakov Fortress has been taken over by bandits, and Sir Jaromir is their prisoner.
What?
Their leader posed as Sir Jaromir. While I negotiated with him, Henry found out the truth.
Sir Jaromir urgently requests that you send a force to Nebakov and free him.
I will, of course. The news might actually be better than it seems. At last, we know where to strike. They thought they would gain a foothold, but instead they walked into a trap. Nebakov will be easy to besiege. We will set out when we have enough men mustered. That heap of sticks will not last a day against my knights.
You can count on us, sir.
I should hope so. I'm sure young Lord Capon is eager to demonstrate his valor in the field. And just maybe, Henry, you will win your knight's spurs.
We will support you in the field, of course. But before we take the fortress, I'm very keen to finish the business we came about.
There will be time enough for that. There are several loose ends to tidy up before we attack Nebakov. You have proved yourselves most capable. So I will let you take care of it. We caught one of those bastards who ambushed us.
What? How?
A stroke of luck, more than anything. He's under lock and key down in the dungeons.
And? Did you get anything out of him, sir?
It turns out he's a tough nut to crack. My men haven't yet got a word out of him.
What about torture, sir?
That is just it. The men are superstitious. They say unclean work fits only for an executioner, and it seems we don't have one here. So they just beat him a little. But the bastard certainly knows how to hold his tongue.
Damn!
I thought you might also be interested in what he knows. He's most likely from the same band that attacked you. I don't know what you think about such superstitions, Lord Capon. But if you want to try and get something out of him, I will not hold you back. If he doesn't sing, he is of no use to us anyway. We need to know who he is in league with. Because it is not possible that they could evade us for so long without local support.
That's an offer that's hard to resist, Sir Otto. I have a whole list of questions for that scoundrel, and superstitions mean nothing to me.
All the instruments you need are right there. Make him regret the day he took up arms against us.
I'm surprised how tender-hearted your men are. Especially after what that band did to you and your captain. But I haven't forgotten. We'll get it out of him. The hard way, if need be.
I'm glad to hear it. You have already surprised me once or twice. So I'm interested to see if you can do it again. And if not, I shall just hang the bastard. As a warning to the others. Nevertheless, while we are dealing with nuisances, did you notice anything suspicious on my estate while I was away? Something that might put us on the trail of those scoundrels, say.
I'm afraid I can't help you there, sir. While you were away, I spent my time, hunting. And after that, I was a guest in your cellars.
That's true. And you, Henry?
Nomads have settled at Vidlak.
I know. I met their voivod. I cannot deny I would rather they moved away. But they have a charter from King Sigismund that entitles them to stay here. Now, to more pleasant business. My personal bodyguard, Lord Bartosz, also known as Black Bartosz, came back from Prague with me. An outstanding swordsman, among other things. So if you want to take your mind off things or fancy some training, as my esteemed guest, he will be at your service. You will most likely find him at the sword-fighting arena in the outer fortifications. For you, Henry, he will have a gift from my personal armory as a token of my gratitude for your services.
Thank you, sir. I wanted to ask you something else about the interrogation, sir.
What is that?
Where is the torture chamber?
Down in a cellar, across from the jail cells. Talk to Lord Capon. He knows where.
I think I'll go now, sir.
Off you go. We will speak once you have news.